I try to make my show about other things, but it always ends up becoming about performing. I started performing very young, as a teenager, professionally, and as a comedian, what you're supposed to talk about what you know. And what I knew always was performing, so to talk about traffic or laundry felt incredibly disingenuous, but I worried that making a show about performing would be too meta, it wouldn't be relatable to people that aren't performers. But what I found is that I don't think anyone isn't.
And I'm not drugged out. These pills that they want me to take 3 of a day, I take 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. Y'all had me scared of myself, of my vision. So I took some pills so I wouldn't go to hospital and prove everyone right.
As a parent of a teenage daughter who in the last 2 years has struggled with anxiety and depression, I wanted to let you know, as your biggest fan through MCR, as we listen to every day through our walk, with Doom Patrol, not only that, but she's come to know you as an individual and your struggles through anxiety and depression. You have lifted her up.
I don't know if you have any experience of this kind of thing, but it's worse than any kind of physical injury. It may be in the old days what was known as a spiritual crisis.
And I think I had started that book after a couple of people, not close friends, but people I knew who were my age had committed suicide. And it just became obvious that something was going on.
2 days later, I'm in the hospital. I was taking 2 pills a day at that time. When I left the hospital, how many pills you think I was given? 7. I went from taking 2 pills to taking 7. So the reason why I denounced, why I dropped those tweets and everything, because I was drugged.
There's a particular ethos in U.S. culture, especially in entertainment and marketing culture, that very much appeals to people as individuals, that you don't have to be devoted or subservient to anything else. There is no larger good than your own good and your own happiness. And that in the book, as best I can recall, characters who become drug addicts, there is a form that the root in English of addict is the Latin addicere, which means religious devotion.
And I feel like I was born in 1990 and I was sort of raised in America when it was a cult of self-expression, and I was just taught, express myself and have things to say and everyone will care about them. And I think everyone was taught that, and most of us found out no one gives a shit what we think. So we flock to performers by the thousands because we're the few that have found an audience, and then I'm supposed to get up here and say, follow your dreams, as if this is a meritocracy. It is not, okay? I had a privileged life, and I got lucky, and I'm unhappy.
Right? I'm taking 2. Hey, everyone listen to this, please.
Could we get the house lights up for a second? Could you let the lights on stage, let the artifice fade away? Now we're all the same.
2 days before I was in the hospital, I was on opioids. I was addicted to opioids. I had plastic surgery because I was trying to look good for y'all. I got liposuction because I didn't want y'all to call me fat like y'all called Rob at the wedding and made him fly home before me and Kim got married.
We all worship, and we all have a religious impulse.
We are controlled by the media.
We can choose to an extent what we worship, but the myth that we worship nothing and give ourselves away to nothing is simply sets us up to give ourselves away to something different. For instance,
we are drugged out.
Pleasure.
We are following other people's
drugs,
opinions.
Or the idea of having a lot of money and being able to buy nice stuff.
And burritos. The truth is my biggest problem's you. I want to please you, but I want to stay true to myself. I want to give you the night out that you deserve, but I want to say what I think and not care what you think about it. A part of me loves you, part of me hates you, part of me needs.
How many people felt something that I said today? Raise a hand if you felt something that I said today.
I can handle this right now. Handle this right now.
Idea that if I could just achieve X and Y and Z, that everything would be okay.
You don't know these things when you do these things in your life, but you have the effect on her. It's so positive. And her struggles the last 2 years, things like depression, sort of had counseling.
Come and watch the skinny kid with a steadily declining mental health, and laugh as he attempts to give you what he cannot give himself.
And it's all a delusion, and you're so much better than everybody because you can see that this is just a delusion, and you're so much worse because you can't fucking function.
I'm a pussy, I put on a silly show. I should probably just shut up and do my job, so here I go. I wouldn't have got the letters if I knew it wouldn't fit. Wouldn't have got the cheese if I knew it wouldn't fit.
Where I got nothing on, I got someone observing me through a slot in the wall. And when that happens to you, you become tremendously, just unprecedentedly willing to examine some other alternatives for how to live.
It's conscious of self. With the social media, it's just the market's answer to a generation that demanded to perform. So the market said, here, perform everything to each other all the time for no reason. It's prison. It's horrific. It is performer and audience melded together. Thank you. Good night. I hope you're happy. I know very little about anything, but what I do know is that if you can live your life without an audience, you should do it.